On me!
Never should have messed with him.
What do you think?
I'm not here to play. Trust me, I've seen a lot meaner.
It's gonna get a lot meaner.
Team here.
Just when you didn't think it could. Everybody make it out!
This is not for you. This is not your man.
Come on, man! You throw that thing on!
I'ma stay up here with the pilot. We
Guided by GPS. You don't have...
I'm sorry to let y'all down, okay? I'ma go. Okay, so.
You ready? Trees!
Ah, shit.
They'll make it to their black site and they'll squeeze whatever.
Could have happened.
I'll see you at the pick.
Ramsey will be in the bus.
Oh, shit!
On the way!
Can't touch this. No.
Gun free!
Armor-piercing round! Lock it up.
Stay back. Don't you touch me!
Look at me! You don't jump, we're gonna die!
Shaw.
Stay with Brian. Get back to the others. What about you?
I would very much like to know the...
There's no way out of there.
Dear. Come on, Dominic.
Help.
Target the driver!
Damn it, what is...
Pointing the wrong way.
2!
Way down a mountain.
Would you believe I knocked him up? Systems.
I know.
Out. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, he did it.
He did not just... Did you just say that? Oh, shit. Not the gate, not the gate. Defense we can up here, but we're gonna lose. You gotta hurry up.
Guys, get out of there, right?
Dez, we're taking the car.
Hey, my man, let's go.
Lady, hey, you gotta get out of there.
انتوا خونة!
Are you?
Waving a white flag. You ever...
I don't have friends.
Field 1!
One last ride. Find them.
I'm getting something. Contact.
Should we follow him? No.
Driving around like this, why can't we just pull up?
We gotta stick close enough to the bag. So do me a favor, focus on the mission. Keep us
Shotgun in a blue GTR. No problem.
Okay, let's give him the...
System.
It's Ramsey.
My God. It's coming back around.
Predator's back on him.
Shit. Running back, charging in.
Bring.
You got it.
I'm halfway there.
What? God's Eye still tracking Ramsey.
Warfare. Police are engaged in a high-speed...
That satellite tower right there.
Pick it out. Toretto.
Finish the hack.
What do you mean? Gotta go to work. Fed. You know our drill. You thought this was gonna be a street fight?
There has to be another way.
Top of any one of those buildings around there, we can reroute.
Sir, did you hear that?
Here. Boys is on us.
Man, them boys ain't ready.
Now we got a spaceship? What the hell was going on?
Set your ass up and drop.
Tommy!
Ramsey, get ready to go again.
connection. If I can get... Let's go! Let's go!
What?
So if this car goes down, who's coming to...
He's hauling ass.
Peter, Brian, you gotta hurry.
Got it.
Fire!
Predator has been...
Wait! What happened?
Hey, did you bring the cavalry? Who is that? Brian did it. We're back in. We've got God's eye back.
We lost the...
Tez, Roman.
Do it. Always wins. Goodbye, Toretto.
This sword.
What you do? Keep his head tilted up? Yeah, good. Come on, Dom. Come on, damn it. Let's go. Come on, Dom. Dom, come on. Come on. Jump!
I know you're hurting right now.
Welcome to DP Action Channel. Please subscribe and press the bell icon. Furious 7 is a glorious overcompensation, a film so concerned about its rampant machismo that the casual viewer might miss how it Tokyo drifts atop soap opera bubbles. Like Lee Daniels' hit TV drama Empire, Furious 7 is stuffed with situations that require go-for-broke absurdity, but even Daniels and his nighttime soap predecessor Aaron Spelling would pause before attempting the level of get the outta here style shenanigans director James Wan and writer Chris Morgan employ. Standing atop this installment of the series is its own Cookie Lion, Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel. Like Cookie, played by Taraji P. Henson on Empire, Toretto will protect those he loves at any cost. He spends the entire film seeking revenge. Those unfamiliar with the franchise will be left to their own devices as to why. There's no last time on the Fast and the Furious recap to get you up to speed, and one shouldn't expect it from a movie with 7 in its title. Viewers of Fast and Furious 6 will know that the Tokyo set demise of Han Sung Kang, one of the main characters, sets this new installment's plot in motion. After a package mailed from Tokyo nearly blows Toretto and his comrade-in-arms Brian Paul Walker to smithereens, Toretto senses a connection and is immediately out for blood. The bomb, and Han's death, are courtesy of Deckard Shaw Jason Statham, an Englishman whose first stateside order of business is to hack the computer of Luke Hobbs, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, to find Toretto and his cohorts. Hobbs has this information because, last time on The Fast and the Furious, Hobbs' DSS agent practically blackmailed Toretto and company to help him take down a mercenary organization run by Deckard Shaw's brother, Owen Luke Evans. In exchange for succeeding at this job and killing Owen, Hobbs cleared the criminal records the Toretto team acquired 2 movies ago. For having this information, Hobbs is severely injured by Deckard in one of Furious 7's numerous fight sequences. Toretto reassembles his crew, which includes Brian, It Gaite, Chris Ludacris Bridges, Smooth Talker Roman Tyrese, and Dominic's partner, Letty Michelle Rodriguez. Letty has amnesia because, previously on The Fast and the Furious, she got blown up and was presumed dead. Though she has no memory of her former romantic life with Dominic, he holds out hope she'll regain her memory. The biggest catfights in the movie aren't between Ronda Rousey and Michelle Rodriguez, they are between the two men. Deckard somehow manages to appear wherever Toretto is, demanding retribution and throwing monkey wrenches into Toretto's plans. The two constantly crash their cars into each other, then crawl out of the wreckage to brawl with pipes, fists and feet. It's hilarious, as if Deckard has a tracking device on Toretto and is stalking him like a scorned lover. Speaking of tracking devices, Furious 7 not only has one, it's the most powerful spy device in film history. Currently in the hands of Jack and Jimon Hansu, it uses surveillance cameras, cell phones and other eyes in the sky to track anybody. Toretto's team is hired to retrieve it so they can track Deckard, though as Toretto correctly notes, I could just stand here and wait for him to find me. If he had, old people like me wouldn't be blessed with an appearance by Snake Plissken himself, Kurt Russell. Russell's Mr. Nobody provides information and the use of the device should Toretto retrieve it. He is a classic Kurt Russell character, and as the Gershwins once queried, who could ask for anything more? He steals the film simply by putting on night vision sunglasses. The tracking device comes with a gorgeous programmer named Ramsey Natalie Emanuel and enough enemies to populate a final battle that basically levels Los Angeles. Amidst all this carnage, Furious 7 finds time for drool-worthy car porn and so many shots of bikini-clad females that it feels like a Zucker Abrahams Zucker parody of Baby Got Back. Even Ramsey gets a gratuitous ogling by the camera, that is, when it's not licking car metal and panting over its willful destruction. I haven't scratched the surface of the plot. Not that it matters, though, as the film's primary concern is putting its viewers through an action-packed ringer. One, whose hypercamera tricks have annoyed me in movies like Insidious, The Conjuring, and Saw, has finally found the right project to match his style. The fight sequences have the usual sped-up kinetics, but one frames them so they're not hard to follow. The car scenes are equally proficient. And the film's midsection, which piles action sequence upon action sequence, is the most riveting and exciting set piece I've seen in years. It pulses with adrenaline and a visual humor to match the comic camaraderie of its characters. The actors, whose appearances span several entries in the series, have a character-driven, lived-in comfort with one another. They are all believable as the family Toretto refers to in that cheesy line from the commercial. This is an immensely entertaining movie, and if the filmmakers are wise, they'll quit on this high note. One final thing, Furious 7 ends with a wonderful tribute to Paul Walker, the actor who was killed in a car accident in the middle of filming this movie. Before a montage of his appearances in the series, there's a callback to the first film and some tender dialogue between Diesel and Walker. One's camera then catches an overhead shot of a highway dividing. As Diesel narrates, we see the two leads' cars go in different directions, like a visual representation of Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken. Since Walker appeared in 6 of the 7 films, he is the series equivalent of the North Star. Future installments will find that fixed mark of the Northern Hemisphere's upward gaze missing from its sky. So this tribute is very emotional for fans of both the series and the actor, because it's as if the fictional Furious 7 knows that you know that Walker is gone. And yet, I must admit there are moments in the film where this knowledge makes for uncomfortable viewing. Some of the more vicious car crashes and explosions are uneasy reminders, and while the film is careful not to evoke any parallels in scenes with Walker, his untimely death was never far from my mind. This is not a criticism. As I said, the tribute is wonderful, and the movie is a lot of fun. It's just an acknowledgement that I sometimes felt guilty for enjoying the car chases so much. Your mileage may vary. So much. Your mileage may. In the opening scene set in London, England, Deckard Jason Statham stands by his brother Luke Evans' bedside as he lays in a coma, badly scarred and crippled after being ejected from the plane in the last Fast and Furious film. Shaw promises his brother that he will settle the score. He leaves the room and goes out into the rest of the hospital, with bodies everywhere. The building continues to burn and crumble around him. Meanwhile, Vin Diesel drives Letty Michelle Rodriguez to a racetrack in the California desert where hundreds of people from their neighborhood gather for race wars, something that Dom and Letty invented when they were younger. Letty goes up for the race and flies past her opponent as his car breaks down on the track. All the patrons cheer her on after she crosses the finish line, followed by Iggy Azalea showing up out of nowhere to congratulate Letty. The excitement of the others is too overwhelming for Letty, and she takes the car and drives away. Dom later finds her that night at the cemetery, staring at her own tombstone. Dom takes a sledgehammer to smash it, but Letty stops him because she thinks the person she used to be is no longer who she is to Dom, and she doesn't want to hurt him for that. She bids Dom goodbye. Brian, Paul Walker, is adjusting to life as a minivan driving dad, as his son Jack is now old enough for school. Even his wife Mia, Jordana Brewster, Dom's sister, acknowledges that he has had trouble settling down this way. That evening, Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson, continues to do some overnight work while Elsa Pataky is getting ready to go out. Hobbs hands her a letter of recommendation that she asked him for. He wishes her luck in her pursuits. Hobbs then sees Shaw in his office hacking into his computer. Hobbs attempts to arrest him as he is gathering the information on the crew that took down his brother. Shaw battles Hobbs through the whole floor. They smash each other through glass walls and coffee tables, while Hobbs manages to get a good choke slam down on Shaw. Elena returns for backup as Shaw gets a grenade out. He tosses it towards the detectives, forcing Hobbs to run to Elena as the grenade explodes, sending them both out the window where they land, Hobbs first, on a van. Elena is unharmed. In the office, it is shown that Shaw was looking for Han Sung Kang. Dom visits Mia at her home as Brian is getting Jack ready for school. Outside their house is a large package. Mia tells Dom that she is having another child, but she hasn't told Brian for fear of how he'd react to more changes. Dom gets a call from Shaw, listening to his message after killing Han from the end of the previous film. Dom realizes there's trouble, and he grabs Mia as the package explodes massively, destroying the whole house. Jack is safe in the minivan, though his parents rush to him in a panic. Dom follows Elena to Hobbs's hospital room. He tells Dom who Shaw is, including his history in the Special Forces, where he was turned into a human killing machine. Hobbs asks Dom to promise him he will take Shaw down for good. Dom agrees. Meanwhile, Brian sends Mia and their son to hide out in the Dominican Republic until this thing with Shaw is taken care of. He promises Mia that he will return as long as they are safe. Dom flies to Tokyo to bring Han back for a proper burial. He meets with Sean Boswell, Lucas Black, Han's friend from the third film Fast and Furious 3, Tokyo Drift. After the two have their race, Sean gives him the only things they could find from Han's car, a picture of Giselle and a cross necklace. Back in California, the gang gathers for Han's funeral, joined by Tay Ludacris and Roman Tyrese Gibson. Dom spots a car suspiciously driving near the funeral. He follows it, learning it is Shaw. They crash into each other in a tunnel, and they briefly fight until a team of agents comes in, giving Shaw a chance to escape. Their leader, a shadowy agent known only as Mr. Nobody, Kurt Russell, brings Dom with him and gathers Brian, Tay, Roman, and finally Letty to work together on a mission. A hacker known only as Ramsey has been captured by a terrorist leader named Mojikand Jimin Hansu, because he is pursuing something Ramsey helped develop called God's Eye, which is a surveillance system that can spot anybody from anywhere in the world. Using this, Dom can locate Shaw. The guys come up with a plan to infiltrate the bus that is carrying Ramsey, while Dom asks Tay to help him put armor on one car. The plan involves the five dropping from the jet in their cars and carefully land close to their target. Roman gets cold feet, prompting Tay to pull the chute out on him and sucking him out of the plane. The other four land close to the bus and break in. Jakand's men shoot at the team. Brian hops on the bus and fights off the guards. He finds Ramsey, a young woman, Natalie Emanuel, in her cell and has her jump off the bus and onto the hood of Dom's car for safety. He then dukes it out with a minion named Kiat Tonia, who is a tough fighter. In the madness, the driver of the bus is accidentally shot. Kiat locks Brian on the bus as he gets out. The bus slides toward the edge of a cliff. Brian climbs out and manages to run off the bus and onto Letty's car as she arrives in time to grab him. Meanwhile, Dom and Ramsey encounter Shaw, leading them both through the woods. Roman appears and knocks Shaw off the road. However, Jacand and his team find Dom. Before they can get him, he drives his car off a cliff, yet he and Ramsey miraculously survive. The team revives Ramsey, who tells them that she gave God's eye to a friend of hers in Abu Dhabi. They all travel there and meet this person, Safar Ali Fazl, who says he sold God's eye to a prince. The team goes undercover to a party that the prince is throwing. Dom and Brian find that God's eye is in the car. Letty ends up fighting 3 guards and the prince's chief bodyguard Kara Ronda Rousey. Kara alerts the guards that there are intruders, keeping Tay and Ramsey out of their systems. Dom and Brian drive the car out of there before the gates shut the place down. Shaw comes out and tries to shoot at Dom, until he drives out of the building and through the next one. Dom discovers that the brakes are out, forcing him and Brian to jump to the next building. The two jump out of the car and pull God's eye out before the car slides out and crashes to the ground below. With God's eye, the team learns that Shaw's hiding out in an abandoned factory outside the city. After tracking him there, they see that he has a lot of backup from Jacand. The team evades gunfire, when Mr. Nobody gets shot in the chaos. Dom carries him out, and Jacand gets his hands on God's eye. Mr. Nobody calls for medical assistance, and tells Dom that he will be leaving him. The team knows that it's time to end it with Shaw once and for all. They decide to take the fight back to the streets of their hometown in Los Angeles. Brian calls Mia to tell her he loves her in case he doesn't make it back. Mia tells him that they're having a little girl. Brian then promises to come back to her. Tay and Roman take Ramsey with them while they try and hack God's eye to prevent Jacand from finding Ramsey. Dom finds Shaw and lures him to a parking lot where they have their final showdown. They have a street fight, dueling with wrenches and pipes. Meanwhile, Jacand, in an armored stealth Black Hawk helicopter, sends a flying armored drone to find Ramsey. They end up shooting down an electrical tower, which catches Hobbs's attention after watching it on the news. He announces Daddy's gotta go to work and breaks off the cast on his arm, and then gears up. Ramsey gets switched under the bridge and goes with Letty while Brian tries to find a new spot to hack God's eye. He encounters Kid again and kills him when he hooks him up to a weight and pushes him down an elevator shaft. The drone chases after Letty and Ramsey, nearly getting them until Hobbs rides in on an ambulance and destroys it by crashing into it with the ambulance off the freeway ramp. Hobbs exits the totaled ambulance, shaken but still alive. They succeed in the hack, and Jacand is furious. He and his men locate Dom and Shaw still fighting on the roof of the parking garage. They shoot a missile at the lot, causing the ground to break beneath Shaw's feet. Dom stomps on the concrete and drops Shaw through the lot. Jacand continues shooting at Dom as he drives away, but Hobbs shoots back. Dom grabs a bag of grenades and drives close enough to stick them onto Jacand's chopper. Hobbs shoots at the bag, destroying the chopper and Jacand. Dom crashes his car and is pulled out by Brian and Letty. Letty begs him to stay alive and says she remembers that they got married in the Dominican Republic. That's where he gave her the cross necklace that Han had. Dom awakens and kisses Letty. Shaw's locked up for good in a maximum security black site prison. He threatens to break out, though Hobbs doubts that it will ever happen. The team watches Brian and Mia play with Jack on the beach. They realize this is where he belongs, and they look at them lovingly. Dom gets up to leave. Ramsey asks if he's gonna say goodbye. Dom says, it's never goodbye. He drives away, only to get caught up with Brian on the road. They look at each other with a smile. We hear Dom's voice say that they both live life at a quarter mile, and that's why they're brothers. This is cut between scenes of Brian through the whole series and everything he and Dom have been through. Dom says Brian will always be his brother. The two continue driving until they finally part ways at a fork in the road, with Brian driving into the sunset. The film closes with the text, "For Paul." Film closes with the text. Thanks for watching.